People, how are you doing today? What are you up to? Hope it's going well. So on Friday, I posted a quite flippant, quick post saying, "What's your view on this?" And basically, it was a picture of a woman from the neck down in a really gorgeous dress. But the wording was, and I will double check the wording had the word mature in it. Now, if anyone knows anything about marketing, as I should hope I do after this many years, you will know that every single word matters. Every single word. I remember years ago being taught that a company had spent £20,000 on one tweet because every single word matters. And this advert said tailored for mature women. I was like, I'm not damn cheese. What are you talking about? Actually, I ought to check that you can hear what I'm saying. So if anyone is watching and can hear what I'm saying, that would be good because clearly I've got a new office set up and a whole new desk and cannot tell you how long it took me to set this up. So if you can hear me, that would be great so I can keep talking. So tailored for mature women. I'm not a cheese. I'm not a fine wine. And the reason I have an issue with this is because as women get older, our perception of them changes. So yes, there's a backlash and there's a growing trend of women embracing their grey and going full out grey or pink or whatever colour they want. But whether we like it or not, ageism in the workplace exists. And as a woman gets older, she is likely to earn less. In fact, I went and checked my research on this and hang on, so gender pay gap. In your 40s, it's 18%. In your 50s, it's 20.8%. The chances of you getting a pay rise, the chances of you getting employed, the chances of you earning more money goes down as you get older. In fact, studies have shown that as women get older, their faces go wider, and we don't trust people with wide faces. We actually think they're likely to be more aggressive. I can take this in any way you like, but I can tell you for a fact the word mature is not something you're going to see connected with gentlemen. And I'm very concerned that you can't hear a word I'm saying. So I am going to check because we have moved everything around. You can hear me! Absolutely brilliant. The point is, as men get older, they are considered to be mature, but they're not called mature. They are considered to be better at their jobs. They're considered to be more worthy and trusting in their roles, and they actually get more respect. Whereas a woman goes past 40, and that is different. The way they are perceived in the workplace, unless it's related to HR and more nurturing roles, they actually get perceived as less capable. So when we use the word mature with an advert for women, we're agreeing to it. If you think for 1 second that words don't play a part, watch the weather. Watch how the weather changes the way we feel. Weather suddenly is not rain or wind or hail or sun. We have gloomy weather. We have cold weather that's going to make us want to put the heating on and snuggle up. Weather is being used in a way to manipulate the way you feel by the use of words. So when I see an advert that says tailored for mature women, I think absolutely no issue with that whatsoever, as long as you've got an advert tailored for mature men. I went and did a bit of research on this because I realised I really was quite offended by this. We are buying into the way we treat women on every aspect. As you get older, women are more likely to be suffering from sexism, they are more likely to suffer from racism, and they will suffer from ageism. It is not just something that happens to women, but it happens more to women. I was speaking to one woman who is in a corporate role, and she said, well, I'm only here because I'm in this position. I wouldn't get any other position here. I know that for me, having grey hair would not necessarily be appropriate for my role. And if you want to go and do the research and look for yourself, you will find that unless that person has a particularly good level of self-esteem, and go and look what the menopause can do for a woman, they are likely to suffer as a result. I'm kind of fumbling my words a bit here because I feel so passionate about this. I went and did some research and looked up grey hair for men, grey hair on men, and it showed me pictures of men getting their hair coloured, and it said to make you feel gorgeous kind of thing, and it said no one will know you've coloured your hair. Now I went and looked up exactly the same sentence, but I replaced man for woman, and I got helping you remove those stubborn greys. So hang on a sec, men are changing their hair colour so they can look good and feel great, but women are trying to get rid of stubborn greys. They've got a stubborn something that they need to get rid of. I think our attitude to women needs to alter as they get older. I would hasten to add that I love getting older. I'm 50 this year. The only issue I have with being 50 is it's the day I drop my daughter off at university and she's my bestest mate and I'm going to miss her. That's my only issue with turning 50. Getting older is a privilege. But trust me, when you're in 2011 and someone tells you that you've got lupus and you've got 8 to 10 years to live, you really appreciate getting older. And I don't have that much het up about my looks. Again, thanks to lupus. Lupus has made my hair fall out, my teeth fall out. I've had a face fat like a fat chipmunk. I used to call myself Moonface. My theory on it, when it got really bad around 2013, I got to the stage where I thought, you know what? I've done my makeup, I've done my hair, I haven't got to look at it, you have. And that was my attitude. So I don't have an issue with getting older. I see it as something beautiful and to be honoured. And I appreciate that many people go through the menopause and have really, really difficult times. But it is, again, something it is battered women with. And it makes me so angry. When you had children, if you were lucky enough to make children, it wasn't a walk in a park. No one rocked up, gave you a fat belly, you had a quick cough and out popped a beautiful baby. It was hard work, it made you change your lifestyle and you had to do a lot to have a successful outcome. But here's the thing, I was in labour for 32 hours, only had a bit of gas and air at the end, still needed general anaesthetic cesarean, and they said it was because of my mindset. Mindset plays a major part in all of this, and that's why I don't like the word mature, because the menopause isn't some awful thing that's happening. The menopause is a beautiful thing. It is us taking our lives back. Yes, I'm going to sob when I drive my daughter to Southampton to go to university, and I do pretty much have a little cry every week because she is my mate and I will miss her intensely. But I won't be on taxi run. I'm going to save money. I'm going to have more money in my pocket. I'm going to have more time. This is my time. So don't call me mature. Don't judge me for the colour of my hair. However, you also have to be aware of the perception that we create of women as they get older. Women earn less. Women have a worse retirement than men because they don't have equality and haven't had it for a very long time. So for everyone that said mature is no big deal, trust me, it has the same damaging impact on our perception of ourselves and other women and men have on women that impacts on the ability to earn, the ability to climb the career ladder, the ability to make successful business, the ability to feel beautiful wherever you go. Age is something we should honour and define as something that is joyous, and it is not something where men get a different route, a different journey, a different opportunity to women. Do you want to know what else I noticed? And I did a lot of research, and I can share all the papers if you want me to. When I looked up midlife, go and Google it, most of the pictures were women. Apparently, it's only women that are having midlife. I loved Picard, and I won't tell you anything that happens in it because it is brilliant, but Deanna Troi is beautiful, but I was seeing a woman on the screen that looked like me. She had a change in her face, and she had these wrinkles, and these are laughter wrinkles. I've laughed a lot in the last 50 years, and I'm damn proud of that. And I love this scene in the show. And it's coming to the really exciting bit, and the whole crew from Star Trek back in the day, back in the 90s, have all come together. They're all there lined up, and she runs into this room, and then obviously there's baddies and things are going wrong and explosions and yada yada yada, standard Star Trek kind of thing. And Deanna Troi runs into the room and goes, "I've never been so happy to see so many wrinkles." And that's why I have an issue with the word mature, because it is a word that is used against women and it is used for men. If you go and listen to the words that are used in the workplace, are used online, are used around the menopause, it is always done to make a woman feel like she is trying to get through a struggle, trying to get through an obstacle. Having babies is one of the most amazing things I've ever done in my life. And when someone tries to say that the next stage where I have the menopause, where I've done my bit for other people and this is my time, when someone tries to make up that's a bad thing, we have got things very wrong in the Western world. If you go and look in the Asian cultures, you will find that as a woman is growing older, she gets more respect. She is appreciated more. You go and look and you will discover that ageism is in every single part of our lives. And do you want to know what the irony is? I wouldn't mind betting that woman in that beautiful dress that I might actually buy for my holiday is probably nowhere near 40. So every single word in marketing matters. Every single word you hear matters. And it's your perception of that word that impacts on the way you see the world and the results you get in it. I'm not matured, I'm weathered. I'm not weathered, I'm bloody gorgeous. I have been through so much in my life, and every single obstacle I have ever come up against, I have overcome. That's not something that Mandy at 20 could have done. Crikey, Mandy at 20 years of age, if the camera came out, if someone got a camera, I would be like that. You only ever saw the back of my head because I had no confidence, I had no self-belief, and I didn't think I was a beautiful human. Beauty is not something that's on the outside, it's on the inside. Now, we all know that, but you go and show me the women that are over 30, over 40, that are regularly on our television screens, that are there for us to see as role models, and not just older women, there as role models for every age group. One of the research papers I read about our attitudes to ageism and our views on women compared to men, it looked at a lot of students' views on women and as they got older, and it actually wasn't particularly helpful. So think about the power of words. Think about how words impact on you and the world around you. Think about how, perfect t-shirt. Didn't do that on purpose. Think about how your mindset alters the way you believe things are. Yes, the menopause has been incredibly hard work for me, and I, nearly dying. Menopause and lupus, not a good combination, but we're back on track and we're living I hate that saying, I hate living our best life. That is ridiculous. I'm living my life and I'm loving every stage of this journey. Please do not be defined by marketing companies, by films, by the media. Do not be defined by the weather. You define who you want to be. And if you want to go grey, there are some insiders that were in a networking event last week with this amazing grey mane of hair. And they look fantastic. My hairdresser, I said to him, I don't want to go grey. I just don't want to do it. And he said, some people look grey. Other people really shouldn't. And I feel strongly that at this stage in my life, I don't want to go grey. I am not maturing. I am not a bloody cheese. I'm not a wine. I don't really mind girl because I am female. I associate with all of the words connected with women that are a positive. I can understand how it is utilised against women. So many words are used against women, and we all need to stand up and shout and say, you calling me mature? I don't think so. Clearly I'm not mature because I've got Millennium Falcon in the background, and that was my first role model. In fact, that was my first role model, Princess Leia, strong, powerful, standing up to Darth Vader. And right up to the day she died, Princess Leia was on our screens, empowering us. She was one of the few characters I can tell you about who's been allowed to age. So thanks for watching. Please feel free to share. If you commented on my post, I really appreciate your views. Even if they're completely different to mine, your view is important to me. So time to crack on and head over to the Insiders. Thank you so much for watching, Amelia, not weathered. To be fair, you probably are weathered because Amelia owns a dog sitting company, and so, she gets all weathers thrown at her, but it doesn't impact how beautiful she is.